I'm trying to make a 3-tiered cake for my daughter's birthday, but it's gotta be gluten-free and dairy-free, so let's see if it turns out. The birthday theme is bluey, and these are the cake inspiration pictures that I'm trying to work off of. I haven't ever really tried to do a full 3-tiered cake with frosting and decorations. Trying to do a cake like this for the first time and making it gluten-free and dairy-free is tricky because stuff cooks different without gluten. And here's where my KitchenAid splashed out all over me. I guess it's time to invest in one of those KitchenAid lids. Also, this recipe called for the milk and the eggs and the butter to all be room temperature, but I didn't have time for that. I got all the ingredients in there, so I'm calling that a win. Okay, I'm a little bit nervous because this recipe is for 4 6-inch cakes, and I'm making 3 9-inch cakes. There is not a lot of batter in each of these. But alas, into the oven we go. I cooked them for less than the recommended time because they were smaller and they seemed to turn out good. Popping them in the fridge to chill while I make the frosting. This was a dairy-free buttercream made with plant-based butter. And guys, I'm so impressed with plant-based butter. It tastes great. Later that night, after letting the cake and the icing cool, I started to assemble the cake. I shaved some off to make it a little flatter, and then I tasted it and it was great. Don't worry, I definitely washed my hands like 20 times. The frosting was a little bit stiff because I had chilled it, but overall it spread okay. And then I decided to add a couple blueberries around the edges because my baby calls bluey and blueberries both booey, and so it just seemed fitting. The layers mostly met up, but I decided to cut around the edges just to try to clean it up a little bit. I think I actually made it worse though. The edges were really unstable, and so when I started to try to do a crumb coat, it was rough. It's not going great. It's all just falling off. I just went around a few times trying to get that icing to stick. While the cake chilled in the fridge, I wanted to test out the icing to see if I could do those swirls by practicing on the cupcakes, and it turned out okay. So I went ahead and iced all the cupcakes. But it was a rookie mistake to ice all the cupcakes before finishing the cake, because when I went to do the other layer, I realized I did not have enough icing. So the cake ended up looking more naked than I would have liked, but I was not gonna make more icing at 10 p.m. I had to really ration the icing when I started to get to these swirlies on the top, so they just got smaller and smaller each time. But truly, I was so impressed with this plant-based buttercream. It piped super well. Then came the fun part where I started to decorate with some orange, white, and blue sprinkles. I was a little bit doing my own thing, but also trying to reference this photo. I added the candles off camera. Then I remembered that my daughter wanted the Bluey and Bingo playing Keepy Uppy on the cake, so I cut a Bluey and a Bingo out of some wrapping paper that we had. So here was the final cake, right before we sang happy birthday. Everyone thought it looked really cute and that it tasted really good, and they were totally surprised when I said that it was gluten-free and dairy-free. So overall, a hit. Thanks for joining me making my first 3-tiered cake. It turned out all right.